bus stops that needed shade and what have you. I wasn't there to play the blame game. I said, how can we get this done? Let me know what I can do from the county end, but are you aware of these monies that you have? They had already purchased the shade and for those different bus stops, and they were at the shop, etc. And for whatever reason, but now they're going to be installed. But how many years have I been sitting on IVAG? Right? Either as a city councilman representing the city of Calexico or as a county supervisor. And so that's information that we need to know, and if we're not asking of it, shame on us. But if it's not being provided to us as well, because we have to reciprocate, then we've got to work together.
What I would suggest then is we have a TAC committee tomorrow, public works directors, planners, engineers, and the like. We would then, as staff, if you so direct, request that they provide with some type of report, which we can bring back to you in July, this is June, July, August, September. We have to give them some time to prepare some type of report. Perhaps the location of the bus stops, those that do have amenities like trash cans, shade structures, those that don't. In some locations, you cannot put a bus shelter because the sidewalk is too narrow. There's a building like the Pac Bell location on 8th and State in El Centro. All you can do is just put a bench.
Right, but in those that we can, let's do it.
Then it's up to the individual cities to make it a priority.
If you need for me to be part of the liaison, I'd be happy to, okay, to get that out there. And cities, I'm available to you. Let's move on anyway.
Well, I want to mention something, please. As a point of interest, last night in Oakville we had a budget meeting and we discussed our 2 bus stops. And we are going to enhance those into shelters.
At one of them, you already have a shelter,
Yes.
which is a very unique cactus motif that was created just for the city.
And we're going to be doing more there as well, of course.
Westmoreland has 1 bus stop, and you spent $6,000 on a shelter there, so I guess you're free and clear.
We're pretty good.
Last Thursday, I was asked to go to the city of Raleigh and meet with a number of staff people and the Chamber of Commerce director, CEO, and I think they're a little bit more aware of what they have now and what they can do, and I think they're formulating an internal plan. City of Imperial, you have shelters at both of your bus stops.
Right, but if you have an ad hoc committee that comes out that is for suggestions, I'd like to be on that.
Okay.
Because there is some things I'd like to see. I think there's a lot of trees and other things that can cool the area down even more so than metal structures like what we have. I mean, they get very hot. And we're planting trees, and that's some of the same things we're thinking, same as you, Victor, on that. Thank you. Okay. And also, as far as fuel too, folks, I'm in that business, and the fuel's only going up, and it's going to get worse. And in fact, I think, did on this study, did they go by what federal per mile figure, what it costs to operate the buses?
We looked at actual figures, what we did not, and we projected increases. We projected fuel increases. I don't know if we projected as much as they are now, but we did project fuel increases into the future.
Because at the first of the year, we were on 40, I think it was 45 cents a mile, I believe it was federal. I believe now it's like 47 or 49, it's gone up that much. So if you guys figure it that way, if you rode from Calexico in your own car, it would cost you about $5 just to go to El Centro. Is it in the 50s? So see, yeah, it's well into $5. So this is a huge thing to have.
And we don't bring it to you because we have any pleasure in doing so. We have to.
None of us have pleasure with this fuel prices the way they are.
Now, in this option 3, does that include the day pass?
Yes.
Okay.
There will be a period of time once you direct us to implement it, then we have to meet with the contractors, the operators, and work out an implementation timeline. So we're looking at trying to get this implemented, at least the major components of it, before the first day of IBC in August.
Mr. Chair, if I may, to follow up on the question raised by Mr. Ritchie on the day pass, will that be purchased as the rider get on the bus from the driver? Will it be purchased at a designated spot before the rider gets on the bus?
We're looking at selling those at certain city halls at this point in time are very interested in continuing to sell these items. Your city hall, as a matter of fact, sells these items through the water department. We're looking at possibly in the city of Raleigh doing this through the Chamber of Commerce I believe they do, Sally does it at the City of Westmoreland. Some do, some don't. We're working on it. If we can't do it at City Hall, we're looking at trying to create a relationship in the community someplace.
And your summer youth pass, is that something that
We may not get that one implemented as soon as we might want to this summer, but it will be available. We'll probably have an advertising campaign in time for next summer.
Thank you.
We're going to target they want to get to the mall, they want to get to the skate parks, they want to get to the pools, and this will be a way that they can do that.
Any other comments? Seeing none, I was going to have public comments right now.
May I read the letter from the stack as the first public comment?
Absolutely.
Thank you. Dear council members, as the Social Services Transportation Advisory Council, we would like to express our support for the recommended option 3 from the public transit fare analysis conducted by Nelson Nygaard Consultants. This option to increase fares will immediately increase the local fare, but decrease the fare for seniors, the disabled, and Medicare card holders, and then increase the regional fare at a later date. This option will also realign the fare zones in order to allow equitable distribution of fares throughout the county based upon the distance actually traveled. The Imperial Valley Transit Service is beneficial to the entire county and has not increased fares since 1989. In order to keep pace with the growing needs and demands on the transit system, we support the need to increase fares by implementing option 3 as presented in the Public Transit Service Fare Analysis. Sincerely yours, Lourdes Ortega, Chairperson.
Kathy, before we open up to public comment, do we ever have any riders turned away because the buses are full?
We used to about 10 years ago, and I'm not aware at this point in time that that's occurring. But if it were to occur, then we would have to come back to you
Okay.
and augment the budget, renegotiate the contract, add additional vehicles. We have a mechanism to fix that problem, but it would take probably a month or 45 days to do so.
Thank you.
Okay, any other public comments?
Good evening, Kathleen C. Kennedy, Director of Transportation for ARC Imperial Valley, and we're the operator for the 3 regional services, AIM Transit, MedExpress, and West Shores Dollarite, and we're the operator for the City of El Centro Dollarite, as well as the Imperial Dollarite. And I just wanted to correct something that was said earlier with regards to the 2-city Dollarite. Since the designation of small urban, the Dollarites do have to maintain a 20% fare box, as that was said, which is just impossible for us to maintain. We're only at a 15-16% right now, and I have been working very closely with Steve Hagan with the City of El Centro, and we're going to be presenting to the City of El Centro an alternative to this study. I just gave Mr. Hagan an 8-year analysis that they're working on a PowerPoint presentation, and so we're going to be presenting an alternative recommendation. Also, I'm doing a similar project for the City of Imperial that I'll be submitting to Marlene Betts probably by Friday, maybe Monday. So I wanted to make sure the recommendations in the fare study are not sufficient for us to meet the 20% fare box.
And Kathy, what would you attribute that to, if you could, why we're not able to reach that benchmark?
Well,
Just a summary,
well,
summarize it.
It's very interesting, when the elliptical circle to encompass the urban area, that's saying that it's small urban. If you look at the population of the City of Imperial, let's say, there's no way you're going to have a 20% fare box there, because that's such a small designated area and population group that rides Imperial Dollarite, and yet you have to maintain that 20% fare box. We were able to meet it up until 2 years ago after the RFP process, and of course the prices went up, and then of course as fuel is skyrocketing, minimum wage has gone up 4 times in 4 years, and so these factors contribute to, we're just like chasing the fare box. We just can't get there. And this recommendation, we could have probably met it this year. Next year, no.
So if the designation was changed, then you'd have a better opportunity to